I welcome to all on the course of refrigeration and air conditioning. I am Prabhupada Srinapati, lecturer in mechanical department. In the last video, I explained about the positive type of compressor, refrigerant compressor. And in that positive type of refrigerant compressor, I explained reciprocating compressor and the rotary compressor. Today I am going to explain about the dynamic compressor. So first you have to know what is dynamic compressor, then we will go to the centrifugal compressor, which belongs to dynamic compressor. So first you have to know what is dynamic compressor. As you know, in the positive displacement type of compressor, as you are decreasing the volume, the pressure is increasing. But in the dynamic compressor, first you are increasing the kinetic energy, then you are converting that kinetic energy to the pressure energy. So here you are converting, first you are increasing the kinetic energy, then you are converting that kinetic energy to the pressure energy by the help of Bernoulli's equation. In the Bernoulli's equation, you know that the total energy is constant. Total energy is constant. That means that the pressure energy P by rho g plus kinetic energy V square by 2g plus potential energy or datum energy Z is equal to constant. So if you are considering the centrifugal compressor, the potential energy Z, that height, is at the inlet and the outlet almost constant. So we can neglect the parameter of the potential energy. So rest parameter, the pressure energy and the kinetic energy is equal to constant. That means that if you are increasing the kinetic energy, the pressure energy will be decreased. If you are increasing the pressure energy, the kinetic energy will be decreased. So by the help of that principle, we have developed the centrifugal compressor. And the centrifugal compressor, another parameter is here the centrifugal force you are using. Here you are using the centrifugal force. That's why we are giving the name, that is the centrifugal compressor. The centrifugal compressor for the refrigeration system was designed and developed by Dr. Willis H. Carrier in 1922. This compressor increased the low pressure vapor refrigerant to the high pressure vapor refrigerant by the help of centrifugal force. And in the centrifugal force, you are using the refrigerant which require large displacement and low condensing pressure, such as R11 and R113. However, the refrigerant R12 is also used for large capacity of application and low temperature of application. Let's come to the construction and working principle, advantage and the disadvantage. So I am showing you different view. In the different view, I am trying to show you how it is working. Okay, how is the construct, how is working. Let's start. Here you observe, this is the first diagram I am showing to you. This diagram you have to draw in the exam. Now you see, this is the side view and this is the front view. In the centrifugal compressor, inlet axially through the eye and outlet radially. Later I will show you in the animation video how it is coming axially and exist radially. Now you see, at the inlet, generally you are using the nozzle, and if you are using the nozzle, all of you know that the nozzle converting the pressure energy to the kinetic energy. So the nozzle is fitted to the impeller, and this impeller shaft is connected to the motor. So as the motor rotates, the impeller will be rotated. Then the stationary vane, that is the casing, that is known as the diffuser. Diffuser is the stationary and movement is the impeller. Then this is your outlet, and this is the volute casing. Another thing you are observe here in the construction part, in the nozzle, that is a conversion nozzle, as you are decreasing the area, as you know the continuity equation, A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. Means if you are decreasing the area, then what will happen? The velocity will be increased. That is the principle of nozzle. You are decreasing the area, so velocity is increases. As you are increasing the area, if you go to the opposite of this nozzle, that is the diffuser, if you are increasing the area, then what will happen? The kinetic energy is converting to the pressure energy. And you observe the volute casing, gradually the area is increases. Means that kinetic energy is converting to the pressure energy. What is our aim? In the diffuser also, the diffuser vane, I will show you, the area is gradually increases. The area is gradually increases. So if the area is increases, then the kinetic energy is converted to the pressure energy. And here the kinetic energy, I told, the kinetic energy is developed in the impeller blade. As the impeller is rotated, the velocity will be increases. Then that velocity is the velocity increases, means kinetic energy increases, and the kinetic energy is converting to the pressure energy by the help of diffuser and the volute casing. And this is the diffuser and the impeller blade. Here you observe the impeller blade, gradually the area is increases. From inlet to outlet, gradually the area is increases. As the area is increases, then what will happen? Here negative pressure will develop, so that the low pressure vapor refrigerant is sucked into that blade, in between the blade. That's why the construction is like that. And here I am showing you the 3D view construction view. And this is your suction port. Now you see the suction port axially, and here is exist radially. And this is the impeller blade, and this is the diffuser. This is the diffuser plate. These are the diffuser plate. And this is casing and the packing, and this is your drive shaft, which is connected to the impeller. Then I am showing you another diagram. Here you clear diagram. Here you see this is your vanes, impeller vein. Now you observe the gradually this volume is increases. Gradually volume is increases. So what will happen here? The at the refrigerant inlet, refrigerant shock into the at the inlet. So here low pressure is developed. As the centrifugal force is rotated, then it will go to the periphery of this. At the periphery, it will pass through the diffuser. So diffuser, the kinetic energy is converted to the pressure energy. At the inlet, you are using the nozzle so that the pressure energy converting to the kinetic energy, and kinetic energy will be increased. Here I am showing you the 3 animation video. Now you observe this is axially coming and radially outlet. And this video you observe the impeller is rotated. As the impeller is rotated, the kinetic energy of this refrigerant will increase. Then the diffuser, the stationary vanes, and it will convert to the kinetic energy to the pressure energy. After that, it will pass to the volute casing, where rest kinetic energy convert to the pressure energy. And here is also I am showing you the animation video how the refrigerant is sucked into the impeller and it pass through the volute casing. And this is your final view. Blue color you are observing, then you are increasing the velocity, then it is converted to the pressure. So this is about the construction. Let's come to the working principle. The impeller draws the low pressure vapor refrigerant from the evaporator. When the impeller rotates, it pushes the vapor refrigerant from the center of the impeller to its periphery by the help of centrifugal force. The high speed impeller leaves the vapor refrigerant at high velocity at the vane tips of the impeller. The kinetic energy thus attained at the impeller outlet is converted to the pressure energy when the high velocity of vapor refrigerant passes over the diffuser. The diffuser vaneless, normally the vaneless type of diffuser, it permits more efficient part load operation, which quite usually to any air conditioner plant. And the volute casing, the last part is the volute casing, collect the refrigerant from the diffuser. It is further convert the kinetic energy to the pressure energy before it leaves the refrigerant to the expansion. So here I am showing you the single stage compressor, single stage centrifugal compressor. Then this compression ratio to the impeller can be developed is limited to about 4.5. But when the high compression ratio is desired, multi-stage centrifugal compressor with intercooler are used. And here you observe the centrifugal force, the centrifugal compressor have no valves, no piston and the cylinder. The only wearing part are the main bearing and there is no other part. So these are about the construction and the working principle. Last class I will explain about, next class I will explain about the advantage and the disadvantage of centrifugal compressor over reciprocating compressor. Thank you.